WilliamsMechanical.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and run stinger. And take crest.
7 minutes till 6 as we look live from the top of Sandia Crest, working our way towards a 6:14 morning sunrise. That's just about 20 minutes away here. Held at almost 50 degrees as expected. There are some cold spots out there, though. Good morning, Angel Fire at 25. You're New Mexico's coldest city, but Taos and Grants aren't too far behind. You're well below freezing in the upper 20s this morning, 37 currently in Santa Fe. Southern New Mexico, we're kind of all over the place. As cold as 42 in Silver City.
What do you want, midway through or something?
58 there near the Elephant Butte. And Alamogordo, good morning.
You want it midway through?
54 degrees. We'll dip probably one more on the thermometer here in the metro. 48 degrees is our out-the-door temperature for kids at the bus stop. They're not going to need the thick coats like the past couple mornings, but still probably want a sweater or a jacket. Not a strong wind day. However, we get into the peak of the afternoon and evening hours right around dinner time, and there's an 11, 13, and a 16. Those sustained westerly winds will be a touch stronger than yesterday with a peak gust in Albuquerque at about 30 miles per hour. In Rio Rancho, your peak wind gust out of the west will also be there around 30 miles per hour. In Santa Fe, we're thinking your peak wind gust will be just a touch stronger with the push at about 33 in the direction, a bit more south than west as well.
Some families still are in deep fear that their loved ones or even they themselves could be deported. They decided to speak out. Action 7 News reporter Sandra Ramirez was there as those families rallied together during May Day.
Track Baker.
The Rise Up rally was organized by teachers' unions and immigrant rights groups. Hundreds of people gathered at Tigway Park to support education and denounce deportations. Teachers say many of their students are scared that their parents could be deported, and that's impacting them in the classroom. I spoke to one woman who is known as a dreamer. Her parents brought her to the U.S. illegally when she was a child, and now she's worried about being separated from her own children.
I'm in fear every day because I know that even though I am supported by the
on the back
program, I am not protected from deportation.
Yesterday's event was part of May Day rallies that were held across the country. I'm Sandra Ramirez, KOAT Action 7 News.
Take one.
Patients from a troubled New Mexico health clinic are still waiting for their medical records. Target 7 has been investigating Epic Integrated Health Services for weeks now. A month ago, the company suddenly closed its Albuquerque office. They found out the clinic was evicted for not paying rent, and 2,000 patients' records are still locked inside. Those patients and their families are furious. The records detail what a person is diagnosed with and how they're treated. And a lot of Epic's patients suffer from behavioral health issues.
Slide track D.
Promises made and promises broken. I was promised by Janice Smith
Stand by Mars, my continued VO. Too tight to follow.
By last Friday. And I just knew in the back of my mind that it was just an empty promise.
QR, stand by 2.
Target 7 reached out to Epic's former landlord. He said that he will release the records when he's back in Albuquerque, but that's not going to be until May 17th. Patients can contact him to set up a time to pick up those documents.
And take 2, stand by A.
A woman violently attacked by a bear during a backcountry trail race does not blame the bear. She wants people to be careful during this year's race. Last year, Karen Williams was competing in the 50-mile race through the Valles Caldera when she was mauled. But Williams says the bear was protecting her cubs. That bear had to be euthanized. Environmentalists say the National Park Service is downplaying the threat of bears and is warning against the run, but it is scheduled for May 20th.
New on 7, we're learning some candidates in Albuquerque's mayoral race are being forced to return some of their campaign contributions now. Brian Colon says so far he raised $357,000 for his campaign, but had returned more than $5,000 because it was given illegally through Attorney General Hector Balderas' campaign fund, not Balderas himself. Candidate Dan Lewis and Wayne Johnson also had to return some contributions for very similar reasons. You can read much more about this story in today's Journal.
Logo to see.
There's a new leader at Sandia National Labs. Steve Younger took over as director yesterday. Younger calls Sandia, quote, the greatest engineering lab in the world, and says it will respond to whatever the future brings. He's lived in New Mexico for more than 30 years. Previously worked at several other labs, including Los Alamos. Younger is Sandia's 15th director.
One of my favorite places to stay in Santa Fe. Now Bishop's Lodge is finally getting a makeover. A new company bought the facility in 2014 and closed it all down in late 2015. Well, now the company tells our partners at the Journal it is starting to finally renovate the historic ranch resort. Everything should be completed by next summer. just in time for the 100th anniversary.
Stand by
you
to
can read a whole lot more about the renovations in today's Albuquerque Journal.
When you're hot.
Happening today, a local restaurant owner will show off his skills on the cooking channel. Daniel Morgan owns Pepper's Old Fashioned Barbecue on San Pedro.
We're back to one
Tonight,
over the shoulder.
He's going to be featured on the show Big Bad Barbecue
Reject.
Brawl. Daniel will go head-to-head against host Shannon Ambrosio
to
see who makes the best barbecue. That show airs tonight at 8.
Take one.
Live
Ready A
with
again
Kelly
for sound.
Ripa is now live with Kelly and
Take
Ryan.
track A.
And we looked at each other in the first break
Ready,
and
Ryan?
smiled and a hug and said, "This is really going to be fun.
Advance.
We're really
Stand
going
by
to
her
enjoy
mic.
Ripa says the two have been
He
friends
transit
for
3
a
with a
long
shoulder for
time
15.
now, and they have a natural chemistry. Seacrest will still be in charge of his media empire. After taping live every morning, he says he's just going to walk on down the hallway to broadcast live to the country.
Still has that. That guy is getting paid right now.
They're the same height.
Yeah, he is shorter.
Stand by, there's all the biz one.
Break 3 minutes into the show yesterday, which is just unprecedented.
Yes.
Usually it's 20 minutes in, but she teased it. Kelly came out, teased it. Commercial break, of course,
and
then unveiled.
There's all the biz one.
Happening today, the top amateur and pro golfers in the state will try to qualify.
We'll be keen in biz 2 for the Bravo Tees.
Twin Warriors Golf Club will host the first local qualifier
we keen
in the
out
country.
the black, followed by the show
40
open.
players are going to be out there trying to advance to the sectional qualifying. That'll be later this month. Tee time start at 8:03. You got to love that about golf, right?
Yeah.
Not 8:03. 117th U.S. Open is June 15th through the 18th. It's at Erin Hills Golf Course this year. That's in Wisconsin.
Just about 6 o'clock coming up in the next hour of More in the Morning. In just hours, people in Santa Fe will vote on a proposed soda tax. What you need to know before heading to the polls.
And funding, it came through for the Albuquerque Rapid Transit Project. How much the federal government will pay and the bill the city will be left with.
Plus, new details about a deadly mass shooting in San Diego. Who the shooter called while he fired at strangers. Action 7 News More in the Morning continues right now.
Paid visit, Key out the black. Roll the show open.
Now,
Stand by 2.
KOAT Action 7 News More in the Morning.
Begin your push.
You can count on.
To your hot.
Hi.
Stand by the double boxes to Eric at the key wall.
6 o'clock on this Tuesday, May 2nd. I'm Marissa Mays.
I'm Todd Kurtz. Let's pitch it to
take
Kobe.
Boxes. Stand by the transit 6.
Eric got the same Achilles surgery as Kobe Bryant had. So
I'll be back slam dunking in no time here. You know, walking a little bit better with his passing day here. So I feel good about that. Kind of interesting this morning. Look at the flag there all stretched out. We have these valley drainage winds going. As the air cools at night, it slides off the slopes into the river valley. Then it just rolls downhill from Santa Fe all the way through Albuquerque down to Socorro. So it's a north to south wind. We will see warmer temperatures this afternoon.
22 next,
Wind's
3 over the shoulder.
Stronger. A few storms
transitioning the camera.
Mexico. No
1
signs
at the big
of
with
that rain
Sasha.
right now.
There's
It's a dry sky start statewide. We're just about 15 minutes away from our morning sunrise.
15.
Good look at it. But this weather system in Colorado is going to clip Raton and Clayton by the end of the day.
Marissa gets
cool
in line at the key wall.
Still aimed to fire 26 degrees. You're below freezing in Taos this morning. While Durango also dipping to 26 this hour. 30 degrees in Grants. It's 50 right now in Albuquerque. 40s and 50s down south. Just give this one a little time. We'll hit 70 by lunchtime and top up real close to 80 degrees as those westerly breezes increase in strength just a little bit.
Stand by 3 over the shoulder.
For Albuquerque with a low tonight at 48, just shy of 80 in Rio Rancho this afternoon. Your low at 45, and in the capital city, Santa Fe, just shy of 70 later on today, the warmest afternoon in quite a while. We'll be in the short sleeves on the plaza after lunchtime. Todd?
All right, just a couple of hours from now, Santa Fe voters will start heading to the polls for a special election on the soda tax. Reporter Sasha Leninger joins us in the studio with everything you need to know. Sasha.
Todd, today Santa Fe voters will decide on a proposed tax for sugary drinks. If city voters pass this tax, 2 cents would be added to every ounce of a sugary drink, meaning for a 12-ounce can of soda, you'd pay an extra 24 cents. Now, this tax would apply to the distributors, but they could then pass it on to you. The money would help support early childhood education programs for close to 1,000 children.
Stand by to mix the baker for sound. Same banner.
Ended last week, and the vote seemed to be split right down the middle.
It is all check, Baker.
How did you vote today?
No. Well, I am
going
to
vote
cut
the
for more funding for our preschoolers and a tax on our sugar products.
Take 1.
Now, the ballot is pretty simple. There are
Stand by
2
preset color mix to Viz 3 with T's music.
One either for
Marissa's at the key wall.
Or against it. Now, polls
check the
open
shading
in
on
just
6,
an hour and will remain open until 7 o'clock tonight. Coming up in 15 minutes, I'll show you how this same soda tax works
in other cities. I'm Sasha Leninger, KOAT Action 7 News.
All right, Sasha, thank you. Stay with Action 7 News throughout the day for this special election coverage. Tonight at 5 and 6, anchor Doug Fernandez is actually going to be live in Santa Fe with complete coverage on this vote. And when we get those results, we will let you know right away on the KOAT app.
Take 6.
A man accused of terrorizing an Albuquerque neighborhood is on trial. Last year, Derek Foots allegedly shot at several homes.
A transition to D next. Continue, Hermione.
Jury selection wrapped up yesterday, and his trial is now underway. Earlier this year, Foote was convicted of assault in a different case. In that incident, he shot a bullet into his friend's living room carpet and kicked down her door when she asked him to leave. Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies need your help solving a gruesome murder mystery.
3 key to follow.
Somebody found a body burning near the Cibola campground close to Edgewood.
Marissa
Deputies
remains
say
at
the
the
body
key wall.
is so charred they cannot make an identification or figure out what happened. If you
Ready,
have any information, call the number on your screen.
Take 3.
Wow.
A next.
6:03 right now. He was allegedly caught on camera breaking into a storage unit. Well, now Jason Stack is in jail.
Take A.
We first told you about this back in December when we spoke to the man renting that unit in Northeast Albuquerque. We got that video. He was traveling when he found out his entire gun collection, family heirlooms, and money had been stolen. Police say surveillance video captured Stack breaking into the unit, and that helped officers find him.
It is all checked, Baker.
Well, I hope that the court system will hold him accountable.
Stand by, Todd's mic. Continue to be
basically locked up and throw away the key.
Q, Todd.
And during the arraignment yesterday, the judge held Stack on a $15,000 cash bond. It's not Stack's first run-in with the law either. Police say he has a long record, including aggravated burglary with a deadly weapon.
Take 6.
A heartbreaking story out of Florida. A 12-year-old girl was shot in the head this weekend during a sleepover. Her family says the girl is not showing any brain activity. They say that she was at the party when an 11-year-old boy went to get an unlocked handgun and shot her. The parents hosting the sleepover say it was an accident. It is not clear if charges will be filed.
Take 6.
In Austin, a University of Texas student was killed on campus.
Take D.
Police say a male student was calmly walking around yesterday and then suddenly attacked people at random with a large hunting knife. 4 students were stabbed. 1 of them died. Police took Kendricks White down minutes after the violence started. Portland, Oregon, cleaning up this morning after May Day protests took a violent turn yesterday. Most rallies across the nation were peaceful. The march in Portland started out that way until that event was reportedly hijacked by a group of people who began throwing items at police, vandalizing businesses, and setting things on fire. Officers arrested 22 adults and 3 juveniles.
Take 1.
Stand by the transit, Baker. We are learning some eerie details about that mass shooting at a pool near San Diego. Investigators now say a party was in full swing Sunday, and the shooter, Pete Sellis, was there, sitting on a lounge chair when he started shooting. He was reportedly depressed after a breakup. He actually called his ex-girlfriend so she could listen as he fired at those strangers. Shot 7 people, killed 1 of them. Now, although Sellis is white and all but 1 of his victims were black and Latino, police do not think this was motivated by race. Sellis was killed during a shootout then with police. Also developing overnight, U.S. officials have said in the past ISIS was to blame for more than 100 civilians getting killed in a U.S. airstrike in Iraq back in March. They said ISIS fighters lured civilians into a home that they believe would be hit in the strike. Well, now the Associated Press reports witnesses say ISIS had nothing to do with the deaths, and the home was mistakenly hit in the strike. This morning, the CEO of United is going to be talking to Congress as lawmakers look at customer service by U.S. airlines and how air travel can be improved. This comes after a United passenger was dragged off of that flight for refusing to give up his seat. Eric?
Time to check in on the roadways here at 6:06. Good morning, Rio Rancho. Hey, we're moving at real close to the posted speed limit of 45 there on 528 to Rio Rancho. Now, as you pass the Cottonwood Mall, jump on the Northern Metro River crossings. They're all looking green right now with speeds real close to the posted speed limits. Rio Bravo in the South Valley from Unser over to I-25 is showing up green, and there's I-25 next to the Sunport at 67 miles per hour right now. Your latest drive times. Getting to the Big I from Coors and Alameda, Coors and Paseo, or Rio Bravo and Coors. Well, how does 10 to 15 minutes sound? No unusual delays, no accidents that you need to know about right now. We're looking down on I-25 near Jefferson.
Step on the brake.
Oh, traffic doing that 6 a.m. increase. The volumes are definitely starting to thicken up on the roadways out there. 50 degrees is where we stand. We'll be right back after this.
You're rolling, right?